So, one of the major things that I'm feeling for you guys is I see a lot of news and communication traveling back and forth as well. So I feel like the beginning of the month, if this hasn't come in already, then I do feel it's going to be coming in quite prominently. There's going to be some communication regarding, I feel, family members, and I feel like it might be health related. I'm getting like people within your household unit, especially if you live far away from them. There's going to be some news regarding some health situation that you might have to travel back home to see family members, or you are going to have to move to a specific place to take care of things, like running errands and things like that. So that's the first message. The other message that I'm seeing here is a lot of you might be in the process of shifting your home. Okay, so looking for, I don't feel that you're making any big purchase items like this month, but I feel that you might be scoping out an apartment, you might be scoping out a home, you might be helping a friend do that. But I see property matters, and I see housing situation coming through quite strongly as well. And what I'm getting as well is that there might be a house that you are, like really, really liking. And I feel that financially you're trying to get yourself to the point where you are either thinking about property, saving up, trying to get into an employment situation that will allow you to purchase a property of your liking, okay? And I feel that it's heavily linked in with future planning concerning family members, concerning parents, or even concerning the family unit that you're hoping to create for yourself in the future. So family, long-term planning, relationships as well, like deep-rooted, long-standing relationships, things that might have taken themselves to the next level, like committing yourself to a person, moving in with another person. All of these things are coming in for re-examination, and you are thinking about long term, where you want to live, who you want to be with. And I feel that it's linking up with property, which leads me to believe that you might be moving in with another person. Let me see your advice cards here. I do see a lot of fast, rapid, swift communication coming through on the financial front as well. So if you're looking for, getting approval for a loan, getting approval for especially a house loan, a car loan, things like that. I do feel that the amount that's coming in, there's something here about, saying the credit score, getting that fixed first. I feel that a lot of you are headed in that direction to get some things fixed on your credit record as it pertains to ability to purchase big ticket items like property, cars, getting a loans for some type of household renovation as well is what I'm feeling, and trying to secure or procure a loan. And in order to do that, you are going to have to fix up your credit scores. Okay, so that's what I'm sensing for many of you. Actually, I feel that energy coming through pretty strongly. The other thing I'm picking up here is I do feel family members, health issues, okay? And a visit possibly to see family members concerning health matters. Taking care of things around the house too is what I'm sensing. One last thing I'm feeling here is that there's this deepening bond with. I feel it's almost like you're traveling. You might be traveling. Another person might be traveling, and you're meeting up with somebody that you've had like a very, very close family childhood tie or link with. And I do sense that it's a renewal of a long-standing, interpersonal relationship. And I do feel that this person is going to be your support system. I see a lot of communication exchange back and forth, and you're talking about, your travels. You're talking about traveling, planning a trip. You're talking about like all of I feel like it's a lighthearted energy though. You're talking about, you know, all of your misadventures. I feel like reminiscing about the past, talking to this other person about, you know, where you've been, where you're going, where you were last summer, what trips you've been taking recently. So I feel a lot of talks about travels, about movement, and about life experiences in general. And it's done over some in a very, very casual venue. And I do feel like it's allowing you to reconnect with people who are who you've been, you know, falling out of touch with. So it's a really beautiful, reconciliatory, but also nostalgic energy I feel coming through for this month. I do feel like financially, just monitor your spending. Be careful about, you know, splurge, making a big splurge, because it is Mercury in retrograde. It's not a good time to make big ticket item purchases, mainly because when the Mercury retrograde ends, which is going to be September 22nd or so, you might have buyer's remorse. So just be very careful about that, okay? So let's go into your reading here. The first thing that's coming through is the Death card, and the Death card came out very early in the spread, which indicates to me this might be a situation that has potentially come in at the end of August, where you're making major, major transformation, major strides in different areas of your life, and it also pertains to wanting to expand outside of your horizon, outside of your comfort zone, and wanting to move ahead in a way where it's going to give you that freedom of movement, okay? So whatever has been restricting you in the past, I feel like it was a very restrictive situation. It was an environment where it was stable. I do feel a lot of stability with this Death card, and whatever has happened for you in the past, it was safe. It was welcoming, it was safe, it was solid, it was very stable. But I feel that your adventurous streak is going to kick up this month, and you're going to want to expand outside of your comfort zone. You're going to want to travel, you're talking about travel, planning to travel. The World card also is a card about completion, okay? So projects are being brought to an end. You're wrapping them up. You are, I feel, if you have been working around behind the scenes, I feel like you're wrapping up projects, and then you're bringing projects with you into the world, okay? So this is a great card for publishing, especially for those of you in the research field. I do feel something is ending in terms of research. You're getting all your data together, you're getting all the facts, you have started the writing process. And I do feel this is the month in which, you know, you're getting like some type of peer reviews, peer editing, and you're going to be able to publish it or bring it forth into the world. This is the launching of something as well. So website, new business launches, partnerships, and things like that in business, okay? I feel like it's a heavy, heavy work, business, public image type of a mentality. And I do sense as well, a lot of you, you're taking on a little bit of a Scorpio energy this month. You're keeping things close to your chest. You're not disclosing a lot of information, and all of a sudden you launch this thing, and it really takes off. I do feel it has a lot of potential. It's going to be a little bit of a slow start, but I do sense it taking off. If you are launching it already, I do sense that. So I don't recommend starting new things, getting things off the ground, launching things, and doing. I feel that that would be the better option. But if there are time constraints, deadlines that you have to meet, then by all means go ahead, because I do sense that you've done a lot of the preliminary legwork in order to make sure that, you know, it gets off the ground. So I don't sense major obstacles coming in here. What I do feel as well is you might get some news regarding, you know, like re-edits for pub. I also feel, you know, feeling a little bit stifled in your home environment. Like I said, it's safe, it's very stable, but I feel that you might be looking for an upgrade. So you could be like in a 1-bedroom, wanting to upgrade into a 2-bedroom. This is a very expansive card. It indicates expansion of our physical environment, of our consciousness, of our intellect. And in rare instances, it can also indicate like expansion of the waistline, you know, like weight gain and things like that. But I do feel you're doing it in a healthy manner. I do sense that. There's a lot of movement happening here, so just don't stress eat. Find another way, like physical activity or something like that, rather than stress eating to cope with the energy that's coming in, okay? Because it's a lot of new dynamic energy. In terms of your financial situation, we do have the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands indicates to me a very, very stable, secure home environment, marriage, and things like that. It's linked up with the Nine of Pentacles, which is traditionally the self-employment type of a situation, okay? You could be a contractor contracting with a firm. And I feel like if you're working on a client-based basis, or if you're like working under your very own mandates, that means you're self-employed. And this card is a very, very good card that shows up to indicate that money will be coming in through side gigs, through, self-employment opportunities. A lot of clients getting a lot of positive reception. I do see you moving, traveling a lot. And I do feel that based on your business meetings, you're going to be able to land really good accounts by telling people where you've been, where you come from, geographically. And what I mean by that is, it's not about sharing the life history so much. It's more about saying that, oh, I've been there. Have you been there? And, talking about specific locations that you visited so that you can make that, very quick connection with another person so that they trust your expertise, so that they know you're very well traveled, so that they also have like a lot in common. They feel like they have a lot in common with you. It's going to win over clients. It's going to win over employees, employers as well. Okay, so this is a very, very financially stable card. A lot of you might literally be working from home, okay? Working very, very diligently in a home environment. And it's funny when I see the sign of Cancer, it's represented by the crab. So you've got that shell, right? And you can always retreat into your shell whenever life deals a blow to you. So I feel like working from home makes you feel really comfortable. You have everything that you need at your disposal, and you don't have to travel very far. So I always think of Cancers as like the ideal self-employed people where they work directly from home, because that's going to bring you a lot of good vibes. But your home environment is also going to be very stable. So I do sense this is a stable self-employment home office type of an energy coming through, especially for those who are self-employed and working directly from home. I also feel as well a lot of you might be saving up your financial resources to do some type of home renovation like I saw earlier, to do some type of like future planning where you're trying to purchase property. I don't feel you're doing it anytime soon, but you're thinking about purchasing property, you're thinking about saving up, and realistically, you're thinking about where you want to live long term so that you can set down roots and start a family. And you're thinking as well where it would be ideal to purchase something like a property and things like that, okay? So very, very beautiful energies. The next card here deals with family, generational wealth, okay? We do have here the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles, once again, it's a family card. It's things that are not built up overnight. This takes a lot of time, many, many generations. It takes many years to accumulate. So first of all, we have the family unit, like the extended family unit or the nuclear family unit. We have the grandparents, the parents, and the children, and the dogs. So everything is built up over time. It's a transmission via a very a very stable family type of environment. So I do feel there's something coming through here. And the first message, once again, I'm getting some type of I'm getting some news within the family, and it pertains to health, okay? And I do feel it's transmitted from the father side of the family, and I do feel that it's something related to like the bloodline, okay? This is something that is hereditary. For some of you, I do feel like drinking issues, you know, like within the family unit, if this is something that the grandfather has struggled with, and now the father, and things like that, just be very careful, because I feel like some type of generational transmission. The other thing I'm feeling is things that are related to the lower extremities, which is like leg issues, like blood circulation, blood clots, and things like that. I feel like something related to the veins and the blood that's transmitted from the family. Okay, so this is some kind of health concern that's coming through, and I do feel that it's basically telling you to minimize your alcohol intake, and maximize the physical activities that you are going to have to do, because I keep seeing like the right leg, either from the father or from you if you are a male, or from like male members of your family from the paternal side of the family, okay? So overall, that's what I'm feeling here. And I do sense we have here the Prince of Cups. This is going to be your energy. And the first thing that comes into me is this is like you're going to be called upon to lend a shoulder to cry on, to lend a willing, helping hand, or to lend an ear to somebody's problems. And I do feel that you're coming to this, you're doing this gladly. I don't feel that there's any resentment from your end about having to like be there for somebody. But I do feel it's somebody within your family unit, and I do sense there's a lot of communication. So you're either physically there, or you are there like over the phone talking to them if you're long distance from family members. But there's going to be possibly hearing about, you know, health, hearing about financial issues, or hearing about possibly having your parents, you know, purchase another property, or hearing somebody that you grew up with that you consider family purchasing property. So there's going to be a lot of communications within the family unit. They might ask you for your advice, and I feel for some of you, and this is a very specific message. Someone might be wanting to purchase a property and their credit is not looking great, so they might ask somebody else to be like the you know, the person to buy the property. So that's what I'm feeling. Somebody's credit score is not that great. They have the money, but they don't have the work history to take out a mortgage. So someone else might do it in their place, in their stead, and I feel like there's a discussion here, and I feel like you might be the one to lend a helping hand, okay? And you're not doing it begrudgingly, but you're also a little bit nervous about it. Um, I do feel they're trustworthy. I do sense that about them. So, you know, do as you will, but I do sense like you want to ask questions about why the other person's credit history is a little bit shaky first. And you know, like a lot of the times you guys have a very good giving heart. And you might just rush in, you know, if it's family, no problem, I'll do it. But you might want to ask like what's in your credit history that's a little bit, you know, um, problematic for the credit bureau and for the mortgage people. So like you want to ask these questions first, and I want you to know that it is within your power to say yes or no. Don't feel obligated, okay? Because like I said, the other person has money, so they can find another person, they can find another way to do it. But I feel like they're relying on you because they trust you. So whenever someone asks us a favor, right, it is within our power to either accept or reject, right? So don't feel obligated, okay? Don't feel like you have to do anything, all right? So doing a little bit more digging, that would actually appease your worries, all right? So the next card here is finance related once again. And I do feel this is like the financial issue affecting the emotional state, okay? There's this emotional up and down with you, and it concerns travel. Having to travel a lot, possibly planning travel, and feeling your money, like your financial resources, dwindling as a result. So I do see actually a lot of movement with you, a lot of friends to see, a lot of people to meet, and even a lot of clients to take out, okay? And I do sense that it's really important for you to keep all the receipts, keep everything so that you are getting properly compensated. I feel a lot of expenditures coming out this month, and there might be like a 1 month, 2 month gap before you are being reimbursed. So make sure you keep everything, receipts and items, and like economic transactions for clients, so that you can keep them for like at least 2 months before you can get reimbursed. I do feel some snags along the way if you're looking for reimbursement. If you're looking for money to come from an institution, so that could be if you're working for the government and you get your paycheck. If you're working for, if you're looking for loans, mortgage, and things like that, I do feel there are going to be communication that might delay the situation. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at all. But I do feel there will be delays because someone is like looking over some documents with a microscope, and I feel that it's going to take them a while to sort things out and to approve you. Okay, so you might need to call back and double check. You might need to call back and follow up on with them when it comes to the financial payout that's supposed to come from a big institution. All right. In terms of your advice, here's what I'm sensing. We do have the Five of Pentacles, which is a problematic card when it concerns finances and money and assets, okay? So this is joint assets dealing that is linking you up with another person. Sometimes the situation is a little bit difficult to extract yourself from. And so be very, very careful about not letting financial considerations keep you in an environment where you're not feeling happy, where you feel very stuck and stagnant. So you need to go out into the world to create the financial security that for yourself in order to achieve the life that you want. So don't let financial considerations that's to link you up with another person and to really restrict your movement, okay? This is also a very, very good card in which two people actually, especially in love, but I'm not doing the love reading just yet. But the alternative explanation here is that I do feel that you're going to come back into contact with another person. And there is almost a sense of like, having a karmic tie, sharing a past life together. And I do feel there's this really beautiful energy about two people who are going to rough it out with each other through thick and thin. And no matter what life throws at them, they have faith in one another and they're going to be by each other's side. So I feel like you have somebody like that in your life where you can always come to, and you are realizing the importance that the major role that this person has played in your life, and you know that no matter what, after like even like if you haven't seen each other for 3 years, you can pretty much pick up where you left off. So this is a really, really deep-rooted either business partnership or friendship or someone from your family that you really care for. They might have come upon some hard times, and they might want, like a shoulder to lean on. And I do feel you're going to be the sounding board. You're going to be the person that they come to, okay? So we also have here the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is a fire energy. This is a very easily, it's an exciting, a very attractive, exciting person. And there's a lot of movement associated with this person. For some of you, this is your energy where you are basically overcoming, okay? And I do say overcoming because the finances looks very good for you guys. You're moving away from it. You're moving away from a place of financial poverty, spiritual poverty, and even like emotional poverty. You're in a really good emotional space for this month, and a lot of you are taking risks to free yourself from situations that have been kind of like they're stable, definitely stable, but they were not optimal for you, and you're moving away from it and you're looking for new energies. And in terms of the advice, that's what they're telling you to do. In order to break away though, you are going to have to take risk, okay? And I do feel once again we have a whole move. The Ten of Wands usually means picking up the pieces and moving on, okay? It's a cumbersome process. It's very mundane. It's very like tedious. No one really wants to do it, but I do feel the next phase of your life is going to be very exciting. So they really want you to downsize when it comes to having a lot of clutter, having a lot of property, having a lot of items, cluttering your physical home environment. So getting rid of them, donating them, making some type of like clearing when it comes to your emotional space and your physical space, that's going to be really important for you to do. So declutter your environment. It will help bring in new energy into your house. Move some furniture around, shift some things to, feng shui the house. And doing so would actually be a really good clearing process for your emotional state too. I do feel you're in feeling very, very good emotionally, and you're feeling a lot of love and support finally coming through. So love, support, recognition, I feel coming through from your home environment where your parents are like family members are actually really proud of you. Okay, so this is going to be a really good month. Be careful about overspending. That is all Cancers. So let's go into your love relationships and romance and see what's going on. What is the challenge? Overall energy, 5 cards for the mirror spread. And your advice. Okay, so Cancers, you've got a really, really, really good month, okay? All the cards up here are in the upright position. And the advice cards are in the reverse, but they're serving as advice, and we'll go into them a little bit later. So let's talk about your overall energy. We do have the Page of Wands, which indicates a lot of good news, a lot of like people that are showing interest, okay? And they're doing it in a way where it's kind of like, hey, like I saw you the other day and you gave a really good speech, so it's like people giving compliments, people giving like a lot of accolades, a lot of recognition, and there's a lot of like admirers in your midst, okay? The Page of Wands is definitely messages, but it's not like the Page of Cups where it's like, hey, do you want to go on a date? It's more like, I'm making myself known to you, or I'm showing my interest, but what you decide to do is up to you. So I do feel a lot of people are leaving the ball in your court for this month, and I do feel that your public image, the way that you project yourself is not your usual self, because you're a water sign, and the energy you're bringing to the table here is the Page of Wands, which is you're easily excited, you're very enthusiastic, you have a lot of this kind of like loving life quality about you, and it's a lighthearted energy. So there's going to be a lot of communication coming back and forth between you and other people. I feel like other people, a lot of people that will be interested in you. And when it comes to a specific partner, there might be like some type of, when it comes to specific partner, I don't feel you're going to have to push as hard to get the communication going, or to get like, this, to get them to respond. So this is indicative of a lot of rapid communication coming in between you and the people that you're seeing, the people you're interested in, or the people that you are dating or in a romantic relationship with, okay? What's showing up here as the challenge is the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel that I'm reading this card based on the picture, okay? Because that came in first. And because of the sheer amount of communication you're getting, I feel like you're doing this balancing act, okay? So you can see there are phases of the moon, and there are a lot of balls that this person is juggling. Everything is up in the air, so the ball's in your court, and you can do as you wish. So I definitely feel you're dealing with people who are a little bit shy, who are a little bit commitment phobic as well. So on the one hand, they're like, hey, I'm interested in you. I just, told you you smell nice. I told you you look very beautiful. And how you follow up with that is up to you. I definitely feel the other person is interested, but how you follow up with that is really up to you. The ball's in your court, okay? So I know most of you are very shy, and like I said, the crab, whenever you see one at the beach, they go sideways. They don't directly go for the things that they want. They go sideways, backwards, and around the object of their affection. And I feel a lot of you are quite shy. And once you've been burned, you tend to retreat back in your shell for self-protection, okay? So I definitely feel that you're not comfortable with initiating. You're not comfortable. Even men, I feel like cancers in general are just like, water signs are receptive. And I feel that a lot of you are not comfortable taking the initiation in situations. So I feel like on the one hand, the other person has shown you that they're interested, but I feel you sitting there and you feel you have this negative self-talk. Like, did they say that because they're trying to be nice, or do they really like me? Well, I think they really like you, and I feel like they're shy themselves, and they might come off confident, but I do feel they're quite shy. So in the process of leaving the ball in your court, it's posing as a challenge for you because you have all these options and you don't know what to do. You don't really know how you should proceed. You don't want to seem too aggressive. You don't want to misinterpret. So you're kind of like up in your own head about what to do next. Well, and while you're doing that, you're not really doing anything. Like, while you're thinking about these things and feeling these things, you're not really making action in the real world, right? So just be careful about overthinking and overanalyzing, okay? What's coming in here, we do have the Chariot, and this is your card. This is basically harnessing disparate energies within ourselves, overcoming internal struggles, overcoming internal problems, overcoming our sense of commitment phobic, or like commitment phobia, I guess, or even like overcoming, our sense of shyness in order to get out into the world and to do something about our love life, taking control, taking like our love life in our own hands and doing something about it. I honestly feel a lot of you have recently started like online dating, or have started putting yourself out there in some type of social media platform, or even some type of environment where you're meeting other singles. You're making yourself available. There are a lot of people coming at you, and I feel like quite aggressively. They might just say, hey, you smell really nice, and you don't know to be flattered or to be creeped out because it's the first time you're meeting somebody. So there is this awkwardness that I'm feeling with a lot of you because it seems like you started dating recently, and you have thought long and hard, and you realize that you needed to take charge in this environment. You needed to take charge to move your love life in the direction that you'd hope, okay? And I do feel that there's a lot of like dynamic energy, a lot of outdoor activities coming in, a lot of traveling, movement, and things like that. That's coming into the picture, and you're meeting a lot of people, is what I'm feeling. You're being solicited by a lot of people as well. So you have the ball's in your court. This is a card about, winning. It's a victory card as well, and it's a major arcana. So that means if you're not dating, please put yourself out there. You've got really beautiful energies, okay? And you're going to get a lot of suitors, all right? Long-term love and romance and things like that, I feel that it can be a good beginning. But either way, you will have a lot of suitors and some really valid, solid options. So, move ahead with that, okay? What's coming in on the periphery is we've got a fire sign. And what I mean on the periphery is it's somebody that you're thinking about. They might be marginally like important in your life, or somebody that you're thinking about heavily, okay? We do have the King of Wands, which is a fire sign. This is a very passionate person. They bring with them, like, they're very sensual. They're very sensual and very exciting, very dynamic, quite the world traveler. They have a lot of life experience under their belt. They have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and they're fiercely loyal. They are fiercely loyal. They will always defend the people that they love. They will always like stand up for the underdog. And you know, like they might not know somebody well, but if someone has been wrong, they will stand up for justice. Okay, so I feel like you're dealing with someone who exhibits this quality that you really admire. And they're very brave, very courageous, and you might be getting a lot of communication from this person as well, or there might be a balancing out of the communication if it has been problematic in the past. So I feel like this is a very busy person. I'm getting busybody. Not that they're promiscuous. I don't feel that they are. I feel that they just have like a wide network of friends and associate. And so it's really hard to stand out in this person's company. I hope that makes sense. So I feel like they're constantly moving around. They have like a lot of friends. They might have a lot of female friends, a lot of like, you know, opposite gender friends. And you've got some work cut out for you, I feel, with this person in the past, because they're constantly surrounded by friends of the opposite gender. So because of it, you might feel a little bit intimidated, a little bit threatened. But this is the month in which they are noticing you. I feel that with the Chariot card, you're making some type of gain or traction, momentum in your love life. And I feel that you're getting communication from this person. And this person is definitely somebody that is very, very attracted to you. When it shows up as a queen, I usually feel like the person is eyeing you, but they're not really sure. But when it shows up as a king, I definitely feel this person is like very passionate about you. They're riled up, like they're attracted to you. Okay, they're gonna go for you. And they're going to be quite aggressive about it too. So this is others of you, this could just be a fire sign that you're dealing with. It seems like, you know, you're a water sign, they're a fire sign. There's a lot of attraction here. It's highly combustible, so take it slow, okay? So for some of you, you might just be dealing with the fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And what's mirroring it on the other side is, it's sort of like this. So these are the energies we're dealing with, and they're mirroring one another, okay? So one person exhibits this quality, the other person exhibits this quality. You might be dealing with someone who's self-employed, like they've got their own gig, they travel quite a bit, they've got a lot of financial resources under their belt. They're very financially stable, very financially well off. I'm getting a sense that somebody is leaving the nest, so they might be moving away. There might be some communication, some long distance associated with you and this other person. And I feel like there's some talks here about reuniting, coming back together, but there are a lot of challenges associated with this union. Your life trajectory are on different, are almost like, it seems to me, almost in different directions. So I see a lot of opposition with this spread, and I feel it's almost as if you're attracted to somebody because, you know, it's a whole opposites attract type of element. And working together as a unit is not going to be a walk in the park, mainly because the things that you want out of life and the things that they want might be very different, and it's just your career trajectory that is getting in the way, okay? You might like really care about each other, and you want the same things at the end, you know, the whole marriage, family stability, children, and all of that, generational wealth. But I feel like where you are, where one person is financially and where the other person is financially, you both are not lining up in the right manner, okay? One person is like self-employed, possibly with a lot of financial resources. The other one is still trying to find their passion. So I feel like that's what's happening in this this spread here. What's coming in here with the Justice card and the Page of Swords? The Page of Swords indicates a lot of communication that is going to be coming through. And this is more like friendly, I feel like friendly technical communication that's coming through, whereas this indicates a little bit more passion. This is more about advice. This is more about counsel coming through, possibly even legal counsel, talking a lot of talking to lawyers, talking to people about, some type of taking a relationship to the next level, getting married, signing documents, purchasing a property together, moving in together, signing a lease together. So I feel some of you are dealing with this with a significant partner where you are upping the relationship, upping the ante, and moving in together or sharing wealth and trying to incorporate the other person into your life. And a lot of you might be dealing with the same person, and it's a little bit of a challenge. There's a little bit of an energy here about one person feeling a little bit like getting cold feet. And I don't feel that they're getting cold feet at the last minute. I feel like naturally, they just have trouble committing to begin with. But I don't feel it's because they're running around. I do sense that it's because they need a lot of space. So trying to live together and move in together is going to pose a little bit of a challenge because I feel like somebody needs a lot of space, whereas somebody doesn't. So I definitely feel an element of opposites attract, okay? And the attraction is very strong. I mean, I'm getting a lot of like passion and sensual energy permeating through this spread. So I do feel a lot of talks and discussions are going to be airing on the legal side, which is, a lot of you might have custody issues with an ex or with a current partner that you're trying to work out. I feel like it's with an ex, okay? If you have like a child with an ex or if you have like some legal custody issues, it's going to end up very favorably. There's going to be clear communication, which is like, I don't feel it's going to be conflictual. I do feel that it's harmonizing and you're trying to decide, settle like custody or alimony or something like that as it pertains to a child. That is going to be something that also gets in the way if you're trying to start a relationship as well, because I feel like it's coming in the relationship spread, meaning this is something that you need to sort out first before you can successfully get a relationship off the ground with another person, okay? So at the center, once again, we do have the Chariot. Things are going to go your way. I do feel this is such a good month for you guys. It does want you to take it slow, but I do feel that you and another person are working together in a very harmonious manner to move things along. And I feel like a lot of you, you might have you might have two options on the table here, especially for singles. I do feel a very passionate fire sign. I do feel a little bit of a playful air sign, okay, especially if you're out there single and trying to date. The fire sign seems to me like it's somebody who's very, very solid. The air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, seems to me like they're very financially well off. And it seems to me like they are constantly on the go. They might have escaped. I feel like literally they might have escaped from a really bad relationship. So they're very skeptical about who they're dating, okay? So with this air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, they might have a lot of baggage from the past they're trying to overcome. So they don't have that ready-made framework in order to date. And I feel like you might like them, but it's hard to read. It's hard to read their intentions. It's hard to read their feelings. It's hard to gauge how they feel about you. So I feel like that's that channel of communication will open up. And I see for some of you that you might have started dating an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the relationship might be lacking in chemistry. Whereas if you're dating a fire sign, everything is just like, really hot and heavy. But it's a little bit difficult to make your life converge, right? Whereas with the air sign, everything is already there, like you're on the same path. But the chemistry, the passion, is a little bit lacking, and I do feel this is going to take off. You know, this passion, if you're looking for that, it's going to take off. It's going to be there. I feel like it's already there, but it takes them, air signs take a while to open up, whereas fire signs are a little bit more like wear their heart on their sleeves. So I do feel it's going to take some time, okay? So in terms of your advice, what I have here is the hangman in the reverse position. This is basically no longer putting ourselves in on hold, no longer living a provisional life, rather than doing that, rather than like waiting for fate to kick in and to, you know, throw somebody your way or throw something on your lap. I feel that a lot of you are taking charge of this situation, and a lot of you are moving ahead and going out there and seeking what your heart desires. I feel a lot of you are taking risks this month, and if you are, great for you, because I do sense you're going to win. You've got some big things here that indicates, you know, even if the object of your affection is surrounded by a lot of attractive, desirable candidates that are vying for their love and their affection, I do sense that you're going to stand out, okay? So go for it. Don't wait any longer. In terms of the past energy here, I do have the star card in the reverse. So I feel like, especially for those of you who have been in like bad relationships, or that was, you know, long standing but very toxic, and you recently extracted yourself, you took some time off to do some healing. I do feel that you might encounter some people who are a little bit wounded, okay? So I feel like, especially with this air sign, there's a lot of baggage I feel that they're still dealing with, and they're very on guard, and they're still not, they're interested. I do sense they're interested, but I feel like they're not yet 100% ready to recommit, like 100%, mainly because I feel that they're gonna need to take it slow. They're going to need you to prove to them that you are honest and trustworthy before they give you their heart. So I feel like this, they're erring on the side of caution, okay? So it's going to take some time to open them up, and I feel like it's because they've been through a major, like, they might have been cheated on, they might have been lied to, and they're very, like, I feel like they're a little bit broken, okay? So if some things are lacking in your relationship, you want to really understand how and why, and we're talking about, you know, doing some additional research, researching into a person here with the Hermit card, and especially they're saying that if someone has like pretty much done things that were not, so let's just say, for example, if you're dating somebody, right? And let's just say they're a divorcee and they cheated on their spouse. You want to be really careful, because I do feel patterns repeat, right? So you want to be very careful about who you get yourself involved with. If they have a history of cheating, if they are constantly surrounded by friends who have a tendency to cheat, just be very careful that it doesn't become their new normal. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? And I hope you understand. People do change, I do feel. Like, people change, they learn from mistakes, and they try their best to move on. But I don't feel like true change and transformation can happen until people hit rock bottom. I do sense that. So it takes massive amounts of energy, massive amounts of circumstances for people to change. So if you like immediately are getting involved with someone and they have a history of like either lying or cheating from their past, not with you, but from their past, you want to approach it very slowly, and you want to ask these questions about, you know, how have you changed? Like, what made you change? You know, was it like getting caught, or was it because on a fundamental level you've changed? Because people will talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, when the temptation present themselves in the future, they most likely will resort to, you know, learn or familiar habits. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Just be very careful. Take things slow. You have a lot of suitors, but They're telling you like you might jump the gun, you might not take adequate time to get to know who you're dating. So that's the only dangers I'm feeling for you, Cancers, but I do sense there's a lot of suitors in your midst, okay? So I do wish you all the best. If you'd like a private reading, please visit my website where you can book an appointment for yourself. The information is located below in the description box, and I've also added a link there for my donation page, and if you use the link, I'd appreciate it very much. If the reading has been helpful for you, please like, share, and subscribe as well. I do wish you the best reading. Thanks. Bye-bye.